Ooh, did you see that? Welcome back to the Ron Williams YouTube channel. Listen guys, I want to talk about arm growth today. How can I get my arms to grow? I'm going to talk about how to grow your biceps and your triceps. Whether you know it or not, your bicep is a two-headed muscle and the tricep is a three-headed muscle. When you want your arms to grow, which one has actually more muscle fiber? Is it the bicep or the tricep? We love the bicep, but you actually have more muscle fiber in the tricep. It's a three-headed muscle. So with that being said, you want to make sure that when you're trying to get your arms to grow, don't alleviate the tricep and just isolate the bicep. Now there are several things I want you to know that are really, really important. The bicep, in order to really work that bicep in the way you should, there's a peak that sits on the bicep, and that peak is affected whenever you supinate. So you can pronate, and when you come up, you supinate. And when you supinate, you're working the peak of that bicep. If you hold your arm like this and you rotate your wrist to a supinated position, you see there's a peak right there. So in order to develop that peak and that round head on the muscle, you come all the way up and then you supinate. Now when you have a machine like this, I love to use the machines, but I love to use the free weights as well. But with a machine that is already set, the position of that machine makes a huge, huge difference. When you're working the bicep, this is one means of working the bicep. And the reason why this is so awesome is because it stabilizes the arm and there are no other muscles activated unless you're using your body and you're going up and down, in and out. But this is made to stabilize the rest of the body so that you can isolate the bicep itself. But when you're using the dumbbells, you can manipulate those dumbbells in and out. You can rotate the dumbbells, and you also have machines where you can rotate the hands. But it's given to you, that machine is basically used for the stability. The stability does not work the connector muscles, and it does not work the muscles that are attached to the muscle group that you're going after. Those are supporting muscles. But when you have a machine like this, it really isolates and focuses in on a particular area. So, with that being said, this would work the bicep, but you don't have the ability to supinate. Now, with the tricep, many things happen. It depends on what position you're in. You have three heads, and depending, no matter what, when you extend the arm, you're going to work all three heads. But as you extend the arm, depending on where the elbow is, will determine which head of the tricep is isolated the most. So the higher the arm goes, the more you start to work that third head of the tricep. So I'm going to show you a couple of exercises that we can do on both. This will be one on the bicep. Let me show you one on the tricep. Okay, here's your tricep pushdown. You're starting in this position. The real key is to keep your nose in the center rather than to the side. When your head goes to the side like this, you're actually recruiting other muscle groups. I'll show you what it looks like. You start here, extend all the way down, all the way up, full stretch, squeeze down. When it starts getting too heavy, you'll notice your body will start moving in, and before you know it, you're over it like this. You're starting to use other muscle groups to assist that movement. But isolate the tricep, and you're here. And instead of that very first initial movement, jerking down, you want to contract the muscle and squeeze. Ooh. Contract, squeeze. That's going to activate that muscle and it's going to cause that arm to grow. Let me take you over and show you another tricep exercise, and then we're going to finish up with the bicep. Let's go do it. What I love about this piece of equipment is I can change the position of this machine by just adjusting the seat. But again, it's got me stable. I'm here in this position and I can extend straight out, isolating those triceps. This resembles a headbanger, except it helps, the pads help to take the pressure off of the elbow joint. When you're laying on your back and you're pushing the weight up and you come down, there's nothing to stabilize the elbow, so lots of tension, lots of pressure goes into the joint. And you'll see people come down and then they'll thrust it to get the weight up because they want to use a considerable amount of weight. This helps to take that out so you can protect those joints. So I'm in this position. Imagine I was laying flat on my back and I'm extending, but it's very, very stable because of this. And I can push down on that pad and extend all the way out. Completely controlled. Okay, that's the third exercise. Now we're going to end with the biceps. Now, one thing about the bicep, as I said before, we have that supination ability and the ability to turn and really affect the bicep. We want to stay away from that when it comes to the shoulder, because the shoulder is a ball in the socket. And we don't want to take that ball out of the socket and add a tremendous amount of pressure in a compromised position. So let's go and do this last bicep exercise. Okay, here we go, guys. The last exercise, but not the least, standing bicep curls. You'll notice my knees are slightly bent. Why do we slightly bend our knees? Because whenever you have pressure pulling up, really my shoulders and everything is pushing down on the lower back. So if the knees are slightly bent, there's some cushion there. So here we go. Man, that felt good. Now, in order to make those biceps and those triceps grow, you've got to add weight. You want to make sure that your form is good. You don't want to move away from form. You never sacrifice the form for the weight. Concentrate on the form all the way through. Concentrate on contracting the muscle. Recruit as many muscle fibers as you possibly can in each rep, in each set, so you can maximize. Make those arms grow, guys. Boom. Go do it.